Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I guess that when things are sort of going along well and there isn't any major up or down, I just sort of wonder what there is I have to say that anybody out there really wants to hear. You know, insights and musings and what have you. You know, I don't know how useful or helpful or interesting any of that is. But then yesterday, after a couple of weeks of relative nothingness, I had a bad day. So couldn't get up, stayed in bed all day, basically got out of bed at 20 to 4 so that I could go drive carpool. Drove carpool and then went back into bed. Just tired, nothing important, nothing major, nothing to worry about. Just tired, just fatigue, just the chemo and the accumulation and just the physical fatigue took over. And, you know, I spoke to my husband later that day and he asked me how I was doing and what I had done that day, and I told him I did nothing. And, you know, I said I felt like I was really lazy, and he said, what, you think you have cancer or something? And yes, we deal with things through humor. But, you know, that's the reality, is I got cancer or something. And there are days when I don't get out of bed. And, you know, it's funny because people always say to me when they see me, oh, you look so good, oh, you da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. And I always say to them, when I don't feel well and I don't look good, I don't leave the house. And it's true. And yesterday was a perfect case in point. I didn't feel well, and so I stay home. And so, you know, yes, I'm doing very well and I'm not complaining. And I'm glad to be putting a face on cancer to show people that you can live while you have this kind of illness, and you can go about your day to day and you can live a relatively normal life. But the reality is that there is a flip side, and I don't always show it, but the flip side is that I have cancer, and there are days when I can't do the day-to-day, and I can't do the normal, and I can't do all the rest of the things that everybody sees me doing and says, oh, isn't she handling this wonderfully, and isn't she doing great? So I don't know, you know, every once in a while you have those days and it's just sort of a reality check. So my husband just made a gagging motion into the video camera. He's not liking this video, clearly. I know it's depressing, but it's reality. What do you want me to say?
No, I was talking about your puking episode.
Oh. That wasn't cancer related. So I had a night last week, or yeah, I guess it was last week now, where I guess I had some sort of gastro thing or other, and I ended up throwing up from like 1 in the morning till 4:30 in the morning, and we called the ambulance, and I went to the hospital, and it was a whole thing. But I didn't mention it because I didn't think that it was cancer related. I just think that I had, you know, some sort of gastro bug or food poisoning or something, and I'm fine, and that's something that everybody has. So in any event,
But when you have cancer, you don't take these things lightly, and so where you might let it pass, you call an ambulance in the middle of the night to be safe.
when you have cancer, you can't take these things lightly, and the doctors were worried that it might be a bowel obstruction, and cancer does. It adds a layer to everything, and whereas anybody else may have gone to the hospital and they may have just said, you know what, don't worry about it, take some Gravol and go home. They did x-rays and blood work and urinalysis and all the rest of it because I have cancer. Reality check. And it impacts my life. And you know what? It impacts my life on a daily basis, and I may want to try and block that out of my mind, and I may want to forget about it, but it's there. It's always there. It's like the poltergeist. It's back. But in this case, it never really leaves. So I'm going to stop being depressed because I'm actually quite fine, and I had a lovely day today. And I took a friend of mine out for dinner, for lunch for his birthday, and it was lots of fun. Um, and yeah, things are good. It's just reality is punctuated by the fact that I got cancer. And what was that movie in the 80s with Winona Ryder? Reality Bites. I was going to say Reality Sucks, and I knew that wasn't it. Reality Bites. So there you go. It bit me this week. Um, but I'm doing well. I go for another checkup on Tuesday, and we'll see what's going on. But so far, so good. And take it from there. So hope everybody has a good week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.